Monster RX93.1 presents All Out, your daily morning pick-me-up. All out hits, all out celebrity interviews, all out sports and showbiz news. Your hosts, Rico and Karla Aguas.
Now, professional gaming is what he was doing for Tekken. How were the training like? You know, they say you're gonna train. How do you do it?
They do have trainers, but if you have a team, you just keep fighting each other. And this is gonna sound really nerdy, but the thing is, when you play a video game, they have something called frames per second. So when you fight, if let's say a punch is like 10 frames, right? So that's considered safe. If you throw a kick that's like 15 frames, you've got to either block or hit your partner with something that has less than 15 frames so that that move will be faster. I don't even know if I'm making any sense.
So counter punching, they call it, right? The counter punching and all that.
So like, if everything is in frames, you just got to throw out moves that are faster than the other opponent. So it's like, it's really geeky stuff because you have to memorize everybody's frame data. So it's like, you got to memorize it all.
Wow.
Tony, you know what? I honestly did not know what I was getting into, like coming into this interview, because I know you for like, you know, being that artista. But to hear how you started and how simple like you are, I mean, it's freaking adorable. Like, okay, back to being a celebrity, because you said a while ago, I noticed it, you went artista. So do you not really consider yourself like an artista? Do you consider yourself just like a guy who loves to act and who has movies? Like, why did you do the little quotes there, honey?
Yeah, you know, it's weird because like even till today, like I don't view myself as like famous. I don't know. It's just so weird. Like I don't view myself that way, and I definitely don't view myself as this hunk that everybody's like thirsting over. Like that blows my mind. You know, I know that I'm not a normal person. You know, because when I step out those doors, like, you know, people love me or hate me, and that's fine. I don't know. Honestly, I'm just really grateful for the opportunity that has been given to me because Angel Aquino actually told me this, you know, because I was telling her that, you know, I'm really struggling here in the industry because I don't know exactly what it is I want to do. You know, this acting thing is getting harder for me. Like, I want to sing, I want to do this. Like, I don't know, like, where my career is taking me. And she said, you know, Tony, like, that's normal because every artist kind of goes through this period where they really question what they're doing, you know, and it kind of comes in waves. But she told me, this is honestly one of the most amazing jobs that you can get, honestly. And I think not just for me, but anybody who's in the entertainment business, including you guys, like, our job requires us and allows us to meet so many people, experience so many experiences, travel the world. And honestly, it's hard, but it just comes with way too many perks for me to complain, you know?
Yeah. Oh.
Wow. He's learning so much.
He humble. He humble too. He's nerdy. I feel this. Okay, I'm for this. So is it safe to say, Tony, that in the grand scheme of things, would your ultimate goal still be a professional Tekken player? Like, if you could be a world champion, would you take that? Like, would you just be like, okay, show business, I love you, but my true love is calling me? Like, would you actually?
A part of me still really, really misses just like playing Tekken and fighting and joining tournaments. A part of me really does, but you know, a part of me also knows that like my finger reflexes probably aren't as fast anymore. So there's like no need to do that. But you know, Tekken will always have a special place in my heart.
You know, for those that there are people asking, who's your character in Tekken? Who do you like?
I used to play Brian, and then I moved on to Lily. But Lily, she's like a really low tier character and doesn't really have a strong move set unless you're like an incredibly crazy player. So I ended up moving on to Kazumi. Just because honestly it sucks because there's characters that like are just stronger than others. So Lily is like really pretty and it's nice to see her like fight, but she's just not as strong as other characters.
Wow, learning. Okay.
I love how he's like, so he can get so technical with it. Like,
Yeah.
the frames per second, I'm still kind of like, wait, what? Like, oh, you really are like
The
geeky.
attention
like,
to
you're
detail, you know?
you're a self-confessed like nerd, and I think that's awesome. Maybe that's why you can't see how people thirst for you, because it's like, listen, I love Tekken. Like, I love a joystick console.
You know, earlier Tony was discussing about odd jobs that he had to take, and then he was flipping burgers at the Golden Arches of fast food chains, and then he lands a commercial for it. So how did you feel when that moment came about that you're gonna be part of a commercial that made you famous? You used to work for that company.
That, you know what? That was so funny because like I remember when I auditioned for that commercial, I was bald. Like I barely had any hair on me. And I was like in a room full of guys that were like full of actors, and they like everybody in that room was like medyo nagyayabang. Some of them were talking about how they were like in level 3 acting classes, and I was kind of like, you know what? I don't know if I'm gonna get this job, but I really need this because I need to play more video games. And like and I remember when I got it, like, I just remember thinking to myself, like, that was pretty cool because I was in a room full of guys that had been doing this for a while. And here comes like this bald guy that just like auditions for the first time. And when I was on set, I honestly am so grateful to this company because I have a really, really nice working relationship with them, because even after I got that commercial, I was a nobody. And then once I joined like boy band, they ended up getting me again. And so they were a really special brand to me because they grew with me. And so that was really nice. And this brand doesn't usually do like sequels, let alone trilogies. So they gave me 3 commercials. So I'm like eternally grateful for them, and this is a brand that I've always dreamed of working with. And I remember telling them that I used to flip burgers, and the look on their faces, like they didn't really know how to react. I don't think they wanted to make it like a pity party for me, but at the same time, like, sometimes Filipinos don't know what to say or like how to make things not awkward. So I was like, yeah.
Pinagluto nila si Tony.
I can imagine when you said it so nonchalantly, like, oh my gosh, I've come full circle. I used to flip burgers with you guys, and they were probably like,
yeah, exactly.
Wow, that must have been
That's it.
an experience. Yeah.
They ask you to cook for them and make the vlog, right? Come full circle.
Tony, that's an amazing story. I really feel like a lot of people find so much comfort in that too, because it's nice to hear somebody come full circle in terms of success. And what opportunities were given to you, you really made the most out of them. And I think that's why up to this day, people in show business still want to get you for different roles and different projects, because you're also such a down-to-earth, like, real dude. You're like, listen, if this is a project that I want to, like, that I see myself doing, I'll do it. And parang you're so chill about it, which I think is so refreshing for show business. Okay, so let's get to coming full circle, landing new roles. Let's talk about your latest project, okay?
Yeah.
Because we're getting so many comments, and we're just like, listen, people, we're saving that for like the last part, okay? Just first of all, this is a project that has come out like literally during this entire lockdown. So in terms of like what you were saying, human interaction, getting into character, it's a different process for you again now because you're stuck at home. You can't just like go outside and like, get in the zone or whatever. So what was your mindset getting into this new character and this role whilst in lockdown?
Right. Well, I was really grateful, because let's be honest, a lot of us actors right now aren't getting a lot of work during quarantine, so when I heard about it, I was like, you know what? Awesome. I'm really thankful that I'm getting this role. In terms of, you said getting ready for this role, was it?
Yeah.
Again, like getting ready for this role, I don't know, like I'm not really like maybe there yet into like needing to psychologically psych myself out, but I did my research. I watched a lot of like the popular BLs right now, and I just, tried to really put myself into this character's shoes. And, it's a really cute story. So I'm really liking where this is going. And I'm honestly just really happy to be part of. I was really hesitant at first, but honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, I think I'm really blessed because it's like I've gotten a lot of really cool roles. And now I can honestly say that when I look back at this, I'll be able to proudly say that when the BLs first came to the Philippines, I was part of that batch. You know what I mean? Like, part of the first group of people that were able to do this role. Because I feel like the Philippines is making so much more progression, and who knows, this might be something that's like might be regular or might even become oversaturated. So I'm happy that I'm able to become part of like this first wave.
And the different projects that you have, what are the projects that we're going to be looking forward to when it comes to you? Because I'm hearing a lot of people promoting this, promoting that. So about you, and so what are the different shows that you got in store?
Okay, well, right before the lockdown started, I actually have a teleserie. It was just announced during this quarantine. It's called E Cruz. So I'll be joined with Julia Barreto, Marco Gumabao, Loisa Andalio, Ronnie Alonte, and Barbie Imperial. Oh, and Heaven Paraleo. So it's going to be a crazy star-studded teen cast, or younger cast, sorry, not teen. And I'm excited for that too. I'm a little anxious because, it's a different setup and we've got like this virus going on, but I'm hopeful and I'm just really grateful to be getting work. So.
Nice,
he's really such a nice guy. I can't. Like, he keeps saying like he's grateful. He doesn't see himself as that hunk that people thirst for. It's like, do you own a mirror though?
I mean, come on.
Oh,
it's a complete
now,
package.
Speaking of support and love, with all of your fans and all that, we here in All Out like to surprise our guests.
Yeah.
From time to time. So, Rico, do you want to do the honors?
So here, one of your biggest fans, Tony, your number one fan, is about to enter the stream. Are you ready?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Give it up for the one and only Angel Jones. How you doing, Superbad? How you doing?
Oh, my God. I didn't see this coming.
Next door neighbors lang sila, kabilang room lang. The Angel's like, well, how am I gonna do this? I'm just next door. Hi, Angel. How are you doing?
This is the ultimate definition of social distancing. I'm in the next room.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so Tony is making it big with the different roles that he's doing. How do you feel about all this?
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I'm his biggest cheerleader. I'm so proud of him. And, he always doubts himself. I think a true artist never feels fulfilled or never feels like they're enough. And I'm always psyching him that he's good enough, he's talented, he's handsome, because I believe it. Not just because he's my son, but because I see the talent, I see his hard work, I see his heart. I have the conversations with him during the shows and after, and what he thinks and feels. And I feel like he deserves everything, all the blessings that he's getting. He really is. He's a good guy.
My goodness.
Can we wait? I'm sorry. I was not informed that the genetic lottery winners were going to be guesting on today. Can we take another moment to just appreciate this woman? Thank God I'm in a mask, because my self-esteem left. Like, it's social distancing from the screen. So,
and she's a super bod.
What the heck?
You know what I mean?
Dude. Sorry.
It's Amanda.
Yeah.
Rico, do you keep mentioning that kasi?
No, because she won the whole thing.
Yan. Di yan ka na. Nagpapabida talaga to kahit interview nila Tony.
It's a great thing. And do you guys train together? Do you guys?
No. We used to. We used to.
We've worked out a couple times together, but he prefers not to train with me. I think it's like I'm in the zone kind of thing.
Yeah. Angel, I just want to know because you're a celebrity, you're a public figure, and when Tony got into this, he really didn't think he was going to be like a full-on like artista, as they say, right? Was there any advice or any tips that you gave him, like to make sure that he would stay grounded and that he would stay humble? Because the money and the fame and the perks, sometimes, like, especially for someone like him, they just all came flooding in. So sometimes it can get a little crazy, some people get lost. As a mom, were you worried about that, number one? And number two, what advice or tips did you give him going into showbiz?
Well, first of all, I've always known that my son would do something and become something. Ever since he was little, he just had this thing, I just didn't realize it would be that fast. Like, it was literally like the same year, one after the other, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the thing that I learned, because I used to sing and we toured Europe and all that, all of my regrets, all of my trials, everything, all of my regrets, I correct in him. Like, I never got to enjoy the perks of my job. I never stopped and smelled the roses, It was always just one big blob of stress memory. So with him, I make it a point to be with him, to support him, and to be that emotional support. Like, it's kind of like when he's suffering, we got to suffer with him, so he feels like we're there with him.
Yeah.
And I make it a point that he stops and really enjoys each step of the way, because I never got that. And I want him to enjoy this time of his life and to be that emotional support. Because let's face it, showbiz is pretty nasty. There's a lot of nasty underlining things. And that's why me and his manager, Mario, we make it more of like a family, so that we stick it out as a family. We deal with it like a family. We go into gigs or to events or to tapings, supported emotionally, mentally, spiritually. It's not just a job. There has to be a lot of emotional and spiritual guidance too.
Do you have any message for Tony? I know you guys are like right next door to each other, but
I can hear her moving around upstairs. Like,
Clean your room.
Yeah, that's me. That's me. Honestly, I told him this last night. I just told him I'm so proud of him. And I'm really grateful for all the hard work he does. And I'm just so proud. I'm proud of his hard work. I know this is hard. People don't realize this, but acting and the characters that he plays takes an emotional toll that he has to deal with all the time. He's a method actor, so he brings home the characters, and they're kind of emotionally troubled roles. And so I'm really proud of him for always doing his best, giving his all, and for working so hard. And he takes good care of us. I'm really proud of him for doing it, because we used to be poor, and it's just really encouraging to see him want to give back to his family. Like, I'm really proud of him. I'm really, and I want the whole world to know how wonderful he is.
Can you guys adopt me? Wait. I was just like, that's so cute. I can't.
That's awesome.
Aww.
The son and mom relationship, when you see it unfold,
Totally.
they even go to the gym together. I mean, it's so cool that we see that unfold. Now, Angel, just one question on my end. Is there a reunion for Kulay? You, Rada, and Boom, would you guys get together?
Actually, because of the quarantine, we realized, like, why not? I mean, this is the best time to do it. So we did a little IG live to talk about it. And we have decided to do so. We just haven't figured out what platform or how, but we are definitely doing it. So finally, after 20 years or so.
You heard it. Official. Ladies and gentlemen, Kulay will be having a reunion. And this is very, very exciting for all the fans of Kulay, from Burn, Baby, and all the other hits. Delicious. Oh, man. Thank you very much. Angel, thank you.
Thank you, Angel.
There you go. Boom. Now we talk about your Tony. We talk about your series.
Yeah.
Tell us about it. Invite everybody.
What a surprise there.
You you like it though? Come on.
I did. I love my mom. She's my biggest supporter, so always appreciate her. So what do you guys want to know about the series?
Tell us everything because, okay, somebody asked earlier, do you know how many episodes they're going to be? Like, was this series, did it spark because of quarantine or was it something that was written beforehand? There's so many questions. I'm going to sift through them, but like a lot of people want to know. First, I think everyone wants to know how many episodes because you know how people get like, you have to tell me how many I'm doing for or I'm going to cry, you know?
Well, I think I can guarantee that there's going to be 8 episodes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
8 episodes. I like that. All right. So there you go, Monsters. At
That's
least you know you have 8.
Yeah.
There are 8 coming there. Olito nga asked it eh. And then we got one nga from Rai who asked us, like, was this something that was born out of quarantine or was it something that you guys had like in the works already? It's just that quarantine and COVID hit.
Oh, well, no. You know, if you guys asked me to take this project last year, I honestly probably would have said no. And like, I've had such a controversial career in a sense that, you know, sometimes like wanting to make the right moves is also, you know, kind of what factors in my mind. And when they offered me this role, I honestly didn't know if it was going to be like the right thing to do. But then like the Together series happened and like now this whole BL community is like emerging. And I can honestly say that this is a really, really huge community, guys. And it's a really, really tight-knit community. Like the BL lovers, like they're like a family because they know what it's like to be part of a community that doesn't have representation, that, you know, might be bullied, unfortunately, sometimes. And so it's like a really tight-knit family and they really protect their own. And I'm honestly really happy to be part of their little community now and telling like the stories of Xavier and Miko because it's so wholesome, honestly. Like they're the cutest bunch and I feel like honestly it's just like glorious. I remember being so happy that happened to me, and it's not something that like I planned, you know. I seemed like sometimes there's things that happen in your career that feel like it might have been like divine intervention or just like destiny. And I feel like maybe this is one of those moments too, because if you were to ask me this like a few months ago, like I honestly don't know if I would have taken it. So I feel like this is one of those times when people say that, you know, it's in God's perfect timing, you know. And I think there's no better time to do this kind of series other than now, you know.
Tony, you said earlier that, you know, there's such a tight-knit community. They protect their own. And it's not every day that they get representation, you know, and you get this role. I mean, what was your mindset going into this? Because I'm sure there was some pressure because, I mean, if I were to take on a role I knew was so crucial and was a sensitive topic for a lot of people, you know, it's a different kind of mental game. How were you prepping yourself for this? I mean, was part of the reason why if you were asked this last year, you'd say no because you felt like emotionally or like mentally you wouldn't be ready for it? Like, how did you prepare to take this on?
Well, the only reason I would have said no if someone asked me this last year is just because, I mean, I don't want to be the guy that says this on air, but I'm going to. Like, the Philippines is just like a bit behind in terms of, you know, some mentalities. Like, unfortunately, you know, the LGBTQIA community, like whenever they get a role here in showbiz, I mean, let's be honest, it's always been in like an indie film. They've always been like the comic relief, the sidekick. They've never really been like the main character taken really seriously. You know, and our director and producer, Peterson and Chris Gasman was saying, you know, these are real people, real lives, real stories, and they feel just as many emotions as anybody because they're human. And so preparing for this role, for me, once I watched the shows, I realized, you know what, there really isn't a need to like, really like, I mean, yes, I want to dive deep into it and prepare. But when you think about it, love is really love. It's like, what really is the difference if you're trying, if okay, let me word this right. If this, I'm all over the place right now.
No, it's good.
You're speaking from the heart, bro. So, you know.
Because we had an interview last night and some guy said this really good point, because he also played a queer character, and he was just saying that, you know, when you want to respect a queer role, you look at it as if you are really just falling in love with somebody else. You don't think that, you know, it's like this gay role, or it's like, you know, because at the end of the day, love is love, you know, and you're just telling a story of a character falling in love. So that's my approach to it. I know that it is different because, you know, it's a different world, the LGBTQIA+. So I do want to be very respectful for that. But my attack and my preparation on it, honestly, so that I can relate to it, is I'm just imagining pure love, innocent love, and the exploration of love. And for me, I'm just trying to keep the gender out of it. You know what I mean? I'm trying not to make that like the biggest deal for me, and it's been helping me. And I hope that people have enjoyed my portrayal of Xavier.
Yeah,
So
they do. The comments
It's a
are
lot.
they're just loving. They're just
Yeah.
loving it, and people are freaking out. Like, okay, they have 8 to look forward to, but they're hoping for more. I mean, Tony, thank you for
Thank you for
honestly
joining.
spending so much time with us and sharing with us your heart and being so honest and open. I think it's so nice to hear somebody who has so much success in quite a short amount of time still be so humble and so real, and you're not afraid to tell it like it is. So thank you for sharing that side of yourself with us and with all of the monsters. I mean, it's been our pleasure, honestly. So awesome.
Tony, you have any message for your fans?
I just wanted to say I love all of you guys so much. I honestly wouldn't be able to do any of this without you guys. So to all my fans and supporters, thanks for making all of my dreams come true. I love you guys. Thanks for the unconditional love and support. Once all of this is over, honestly, I'm just so excited to see you guys again and interact with you guys. And also, thank you so much, Monster RX93, for having me. I honestly love this radio station so much, and I always listen to you guys on my way to work. So it's always fun being here.
Thanks, Tony. Oh
Thanks,
my God,
thank
Tony
you.
Labrusca listens to us.
I know, man.
Okay,
Tony.
last, because you honestly are just such a wonderful ball of wisdom. What's your message for people that are struggling right now? Like with this whole lockdown, with how the world situation is. I mean, it's tough, and you know, people have different ways of coping and dealing. What's your message for everybody experiencing this right now? Because we all are.
Right, man. You know, yeah, it's rough. A lot of people are going through such a hard time right now, and my heart really goes to you guys. And I just want to let people know that, you know, a lot of the times we want to be in control. We want to be in control of how people see us, how our life happens, how, you know, we just want to be in control. And I feel like right now, God and life is just proving that we really aren't. So I think right now, when we don't know what to do, let's just put our trust in the Lord and pray. Let's all just be, let's all just find humility right now and trust in the Lord God, because yeah, there's not much that we can do. And, you know, right now we can all just keep our faith and trust in Him. Let's hope that something good happens out of this. I mean, let's just keep our faith up. That's about it. And guys, try to stay positive. Try to stay positive.
Tony Labrusca.
Thank you, Tony.
Where can they watch? Where can they watch your BL series?
Yeah, guys, thank you so much to everybody who watched our first episode. We'll be releasing a new episode every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. on the Black Sheep's YouTube and Facebook page. So,
Woo! That's exciting.
Okay, last but not the least, greetings.
Yeah.
You want to greet your friends? Your family?
Yeah. For sure. All right. Well, shout out to Ria Ramos. Thank you so much, my kaparehu. Thanks so much. Who's also a VJ here. I believe.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
She's here in the afternoon, so
Yeah.
she's doing an afternoon show.
Shout out to Ria Inuman soon. I know she's been really wanting to catch up. And shout out to Guardians of Tony, Tony's Angels, Tony Raptors, and Tony Universe. You guys are so great. And to all of the new Save Me shippers, love you guys. Thank you so much for the support. Kuya Mario, thank you all the way in Commonwealth. I hope you, Jin, and Seth are doing all right. I miss you guys.
All right.
Thanks,
There you have
Tony.
it.
We hope when all is said and done and things are safe and your schedule isn't too crazy, you can drop by the Monster booth, because I think it would be great just to have you like in person, just so I can see you're actually a
sure.
real person, because you seem like it's too good to be true, ladies and gentlemen. Too good to be true. But thank you, Tony.
Thank you, Tony.
Guys, thanks for having me.
Healthy.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Tony Labrusca.
All Out with Rico and Karla. All Out music and all out fun. Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. only on Manila's hottest Monster RX 93.1.